Today, after following, obviously moving furniture around and doing a bulk of the pieces yesterday, I've got quite a few sort of containers full of pieces to be sorted that I didn't get done yesterday, and this is one of them. I got quite a few bags and pieces, and I've got to be strict. This is the actual cardboard envelope. I got a calendar Disney. It was from Tesco's, from £6 down to £1.50 because I didn't get a calendar at all over Christmas. And although you can have your calendar on your phone, which is ideal, but as I said to hubby, if I'm already on my mobile phone and need to look at a calendar, I would prefer to actually look at a calendar. So I'm actually cutting the pieces out and using them in another project. I've also seen it on YouTube where you can make mini books and use these like for the front cover. Although they're posters, I think some of them I could get away with using them for books and mini books, and put in a back of maybe using cardboard, a binding and everything, and then some pages, and making little mini books. So that is definitely an item. It seems strange that I'm keeping. Other things you might think, hang on a minute, she's getting rid of that, I could do something with it, but this is all down to minimising what goes back in my cubby, due to the fact that obviously when you look on the floor and sort of got a couple of piles, maybe you've got one that you're definitely getting rid of, one is a maybe, and another one that you want to keep. There's only so much you can put back in that space, as you're going to be back to the original problem where everything gets cluttered, and the more stuff you got, the more you've got to store it, and the worse it is actually to organise it and keep that space tidy. So what I've done is I've taken out some of my crafting pieces, put them in this box, but I had to actually go through this box to take some stuff out that I haven't used in over 12 months, which namely is glitters. I'm going to see if my daughter-in-law wants them for her granddaughter. If not, I'll just donate them to the charity shop. And then put it in the craft pieces that I'm definitely going to use, which is like these googly eyes. I use those for the projects. These polystyrene bowls, and obviously bells, and these stars more for Christmas. So that all goes in there, and some obviously straws and everything. So everything in that box has been reviewed. This is one of those instances where you start one job and then it goes on to something else. I've said this before, my cubby and craft pieces can take an awful long time, and sometimes making those decisions, because you want to keep every little bit of paper, card and things that you might want to actually use at a later date. But it comes to the stage like I am now that I have got to thin it down and not keep every little bit, as I said. So that box has now been reviewed, and this is how it is. If I want stuff to come back in, it's got to be something that I'm definitely going to use, and if not, get rid of, because obviously my keep pile is a lot larger than my get rid of pile. So I will show you a few ways that I make decisions. This doesn't necessarily have to be just for crafting. This could be any space, and it might help you to make those decisions and put like for like and make a decision. If you've got 2 or 3 similar items, I've got quite a few pencil cases, and yes, I will actually give a couple to our granddaughter, but then again, I still got to get rid of a few as well if I want to keep them in one box like this. So it's just sort of telling you or making those decisions on how to get rid of pieces. And this tends to be the longer job. Like I've said previously, when you've got bags, boxes or whatever containers full of those pieces left after you do your organisation. So again, I'm having one of those little mini breaks in between putting pieces away. It does take time and effort. Sometimes, you know, depending on how big the task is, how much stuff you got, is whether you need to make snap decisions or whatever. The only thing I do try and do is not have too many categories. Maybe I will have one, you know, like just general rubbish, things that can be donated, things that I want to keep. I try and keep the maybe pile down as small as I can. If that starts getting, or my keep pile keeps getting larger than my maybe pile, or whichever way around it goes, the maybe pile is larger than the keep pile, then that's when you have to review it and say, stop, what can I live without? What do I really need? This is one of the reasons why it takes me a little while sometimes, because I had this basket of pieces. Most of this is from Christmas, and I think a lot of it can be dumped, but I think I want to reuse this because it is black and it's got covered polystyrene, so I could make a arrangement out of that. But things like this, yes, you could spray it, but again, where do you draw the line? As crafters or anybody can keep whatever and find a use for something, but sometimes you have to say enough is enough and get rid of stuff. I did keep pieces like this. I don't like the plastic bit, but obviously the leaves is okay, but I'm going to have a review because I thought, well, I kept all these pieces except for the carnation. Obviously that can go over there anyway, but there's certain things that I kept because it was to fill out arrangements or something. But I want to be able to fit all the flowers, or like the leaves and everything, and moss. Obviously this is for the whole sort of year, for changing out. As you know, I pull my arrangements to bits and redo them. I got a couple of arrangements that obviously they are kept in one piece, but other times I pull things to bits, like the ribbons and everything. But I'm going to review it because I want it so it lays pretty organised and flat, but all in one box. So it might be a case that I don't need that and I can get rid of that, but keep that. That is definitely a keep because I use that all through the year for different arrangements. I had thought about possibly putting it on my pine bookcase behind the lounge door, but I might put it on the stairs for a change. I don't think I've ever had it on my stairs to break up the black, but I'm not bothered about that at the moment. That is definitely a keep. I just want to find a place, maybe put it on show rather than store it in my decor cupboard. So this is what I'm going to do, and with the help of some of these zip seal food and freezer bags, I like these are the large ones, then hopefully I can sort of file them away in the different categories. So that's what I'm going to do while I'm watching a bit of YouTube. So I've sorted all the flowers into colours and categories and everything, so that I can see what I've got. Believe it or not, all this was actually in that box. It looks more when you spread it out like this. So I've got like all the white and cream carnations, the pale pink roses, which could deal with any time, especially like Mother's Day and things like the spring and everything. Then I've got the white ones. The yellow ones I'm sort of not using as much now, and I'll come back to something else as well. I've got a few Christmas ones that I'm debating whether to get rid of, but some of these I didn't use them Christmas just gone, because normally they would have gone in, say, my foliage bag up in the loft for Christmas, but they must have got missed a previous year. But sometimes these sort of things, I like to stick them in the Christmas tree anyway. I was given these leaves that I think can deal with autumn. I like these ones. These were two that wasn't used Christmas just gone, but I tend to use those anyway. They must have just got missed. I've kept these white light ribbons. These were from arrangements that I was given. I got the moss that I use any time of year, especially for gaps in arrangements. I got this ivy stems that I got from, I think it was Poundland actually, and I'd always dreamed about putting the lights down like you saw all on sort of Pinterest and YouTube, but I never did do that. And I think it's a bit of a dust collector now, but I'm going to keep them because they might be handy for something. I've got a lot of the autumn leaves. I've got some packets that haven't been started. I've got others that have, due to the fact that when my son and now daughter-in-law got married, they had an autumn wedding. And then these are the sort of things that came off Christmas crackers that I've used on different pieces. And that was just a mini pumpkin that got missed from the autumn decor. Sometimes, you know, pieces got missed or fallen off or something and don't get put with like Christmas, autumn, whatever, spring. Then they go in with my flowers and everything. I pulled out a couple of arrangements. I was debating about pulling this to bits, but I might leave it. I like this sort of at autumn time, and this was one of the decorations that was from our son's wedding. These I tend to have out all year round anyway, so I might keep that as it is. And this one I might just change. I wrapped a polystyrene ring with wool, but I might take the yellow out and put something else on there. These were from arrangements from an anniversary party, and that's why I've got quite a lot of sort of flowers and everything. I'm debating whether to do an arrangement in there, or I was thinking about replacing those, but I might do arrangement anyway. Like I said, I'm keeping that. Got some little pots, mostly for doing crafting. I love the white ones because from IKEA, because they got a number of uses. And then I've got a few oddments here. I got a tiny pile here of pieces that I'm going to definitely get rid of. And then I've got some leaves because I'm not sure if I'm going to do an arrangement or not while I'm sorting out, or just change out my flowers, or even just file them away in the box. But this can be done for any resources you have. It doesn't necessarily have to be for crafting or flowers. It could be magazines, it could be clothes, it could be almost anything, but it's to give you ideas how I make the decisions what to keep and what to get rid of. So in the box, I've used those Ziploc bags, but I haven't actually closed them up. I left them open so that I haven't squashed the flowers, so they're all in the different colours with the different leaves at the front here. I've got my wire and those oddments in there, leaves at the back there, moss and everything like that. So it's all sort of filed like that. I will keep those because I use those around our home anyway. Not an awful lot got rid out of this segment, but still a small pile there of things to go. And I've decided to keep that arrangement with the yellows and the oranges because I did use it last year for autumn, so I've just put that back in my decor cupboard. But I have changed up a couple of little bits. As you can see, this is the problem when you sort out anything to do with crafting. You try not get sidetracked, but I thought anyway, when I was sorting out, I thought a few minutes here and there doesn't hurt. So I've got this wreath here. It's a polystyrene wreath that a few years ago I wrapped with this wool. Yeah, and as I was just about to start, the phone goes. Constantly phones going, whether it's the landline or the mobile. I've took the yellow flower off and I'm put another white flower on and this black flower just to bring in a bit of the white and black that I have going on around our home. And then I want to keep the cream ribbon because I do like it, but I just want to incorporate a bit more of that black and white gingham ribbon, so I just untie it slightly so that I can thread a piece of ribbon through this to make like a rough bow using the two types of ribbon. Things can be revamped, reused or redone. It doesn't have to be complicated, just maybe changing a little bit, whether it's just a bit of ribbon or a couple of flowers, just to give it a fresh look and to make your space look a little bit different without actually making a large effort or any expense. Again, through today, it's not expense, no money was spent, which I was really happy about. Even with all the changes, it was using pieces that I already had. So again, I'm really pleased with what I got done. It's just getting those few bits and pieces done in between, getting things sorted while you're reviewing, organising and decluttering your home. So here's the wreath that I've put up from the door, bringing the black flowers. Unfortunately, it's not the brilliant of pictures, but I do have hello sticker on that mirror. This is on the landing, on the stairs. I have actually altered it around, bringing a bit more of the wicker out. So it's just fresh look, and it can go into spring. And I used those 3 pots that I got from IKEA a number of years ago and used the pale pink and white flowers in there with a few ribbons and leaves, and bringing a bit more wicker in and another false plant there, along with the canvas that I made in my crafting video. And then I've decluttered these 2 shelves, so I've only just got the 2 wicker pieces on there. That top one, I would like to have some sort of greenery hanging down. And I also managed to get rid of, yes, 3 pieces of wicker. Again, I'm really pleased. It's pieces that I haven't used, and I've got this wicker that these are the items that I'm keeping that I know will get used, other than the other 3 that I just want to get rid of. So here's a close-up of that flower arranging. I'm really pleased with it, and again, it just brightens that space up. So I've done a fair bit. I've still got a couple of bags under my desk that still need sorting. I've now put the steps there because they're a lot easier for any family members or myself to get them as they were previously at the side there. I'm really proud that I haven't got anything else more on the floor, and that's what I was trying to prevent from happening. My next stage tomorrow, because I'm out all day tomorrow, is I want to go through at least my notebooks and have a sort out, because I do have a lot of notebooks and diaries and everything under there, so I need to go through that and see if I can thin that down and just keep the books that I'm definitely going to use. So that is my cubby. I'm really pleased how that has turned out. As I said, I've still got a few bits there, and I've got a basket of bits left in the dining room to put away, so again, that'll probably be tomorrow. And at the moment, I've just unscrewed the legs of that table that had been cut down. So it's there. So that's what I use for crafting. I either put the legs on and have it so I sit on my cushion on the floor, or I can just have it as the board. So the idea is I'm going to keep the white one as it is at the moment, but the black one that's under the lounge window, I may cut that down, or have hubby cut it down, so it's like the white one, and get rid of this white one, but that is for a further date. It's taken all day, but I got a couple of little distractions, a bit of YouTube, and also doing a bit of flower arranging and everything. But this is what I actually emptied. These were all full of stuff that had the flowers and leaves and everything in. That's now empty. 2 bags have been emptied, and these 2 boxes, so that is a good result. Found homes for a lot of stuff. If it's not rubbish or cardboard, a lot of cardboard and paper things, products are gone into the recycle bin. And I've also managed to pull out a few little bits and pieces as I went along. Again, there is that thing that, yes, I could do things with some of the pieces, but I'm just going to let them go. Can't keep everything. So these are going to go. They did get damaged. Can do something with them, but I'm just going to let them go. This I'm going to have a word with a friend because she's very good at sewing, and see whether she wants this. I bought this from the charity shop quite some time ago. There we are. I've still got the price on £1.20 because I do like wooden things. But I wondered if she wants it, and maybe she can pull it to bits or even use it as a pattern and redress the doll. I've also got notelets, don't need those. This fairy box has got a couple of cards in, but I'm just going to send some pieces to Kaz, so I might use this box. I don't know. I'm not sure that the pieces will fit in there, but if not, I can use that when I send anything through the post just to protect it. I've put the rest of my gonks upstairs where the side that I sleep, but I thought I'd let the maroon and red one go, these 2, so I'm letting those go, believe it or not. This is one of the, look at that, can't do anything with that. That's from my Sizzix machine. I got a weekly planner there, notelets, and this pad thing. All the glitters are going, because I wanted to keep 3 of the gold pencil cases in case I want them for further reference or use. I'm getting rid of 3 pencil cases over there. A bunch of pencils, say a lot of those would go to a granddaughter, and then a few Christmassy sort of bits. Again, I could have them to go on gifts, but again, where do you draw the line? I've got quite a lot of things to go on gifts anyway for this Christmas, so I'm letting these bells go, and these pieces, and some felt sort of coasters, this bag of Christmas baubles. That picture frame's going to our granddaughter. I kept hold of it all this time. I'm just going to let it go. I was going to put a photograph in it, but I think I'll leave that to her parents. There's a couple of lip glosses that I haven't used in over 12 months. Some key rings. It's my birthday. That pom-pom key ring, and that thing I got from B&M. It was £5. I've never used it, so that's going to go. And this dress that I've kept, sorry about that, a delivery for our neighbour that I've just taken in. Yeah, so I've had that dress for years. It was one of these items that I thought, well, I'll keep keeping it. I could pull it again to bits, but I'm going to have a word with a friend to see if she wants it, or to pull the lace to bits, you know, the dress, because there's a lot of lace on there. I always thought I was going to sort of, you know, lose the weight and get into it, but I've had it more than 2-3 years, so I'm just going to let it go. Yes, so I'm quite happy with the result. I've got a bin, there are sides of the cardboard that I've got rid of, and of course those flowers. So I'm really pleased with what I've got done today. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.